Welcome to another MP4Nation.net play and review. Today we have the new Chuwi T8. I just love saying that. It's a touchscreen MP4 player from a new company, or rather new player in the MP4 market called Chuwi. This is the T8 model, 4GB. It actually has a nice packing, surprisingly. And let me just take it out here. Yeah, rather looks like they spent some quite some time on thinking about the packing. It's a real shame they didn't think too much about the player. Anyways, here's the accessories. Let me just open it up here. It does have TV out, so it does come with TV out cables. Your standard headphones. Your cleaning cloth. Your Chinese language manual. Apparently there is an English one in works. And a 5-pin USB cable. And a stylus pen, which, well, I don't know, maybe you should use, because, well, anyways. Here's the player itself. It does have a very similar look to the Nationite S-Flow, which is our own player. So, this player has been in the works for a while. Alright, here you go. There you go. Here's the player itself. I won't lie right away. The overall feel of it is it's kind of crude. It's kind of thick too, It is nice. It has a large 3-inch QVGA screen. It uses what's called a dual screen touchscreen. What that means is that it's one layer is resistive touchscreen, and the other layer is capacitive. Now, for any of you that actually know about technology and touchscreens, that doesn't really make much sense. What it really is, if you read through the jargon, it's basically just a new form of resistive touchscreen, or a new method of implementation. It really is the same. It's not really a capacitive screen. It's just a resistive screen, and what they've done is it's basically been made so that when a finger is used across the screen, it will read. It can read the motion, which capacitive touchscreens can do, but until now, resistive screens could not do. However, I'm stressing, it's not very well implemented. Anyway, I'm not really sure what that button is. I haven't figured it out. I just think it's there for show at this point. It's a 5-pin USB cable and your 3.5mm audio out. This brown button seems to do a lot of stuff, like your on-off, your I really don't know what that thing does. Seriously, it's just there. Anyways, here's the user interface itself. This is one of the 3 desktops, as you might want to call it. Quite simple, quite nice. Here's the other one. Actually, I think there's 4. And here's the main one that is the default theme. Yeah, this is actually the default look of the player. I mean, it's like, I really hope it was some sort of nepotism that led to this design, because it must have been like the 6-year-old son or daughter of the guy who owns Chuwi that made this design, and the kid must have been colorblind, because I mean, it's just kind of hideous. I mean, it's just not bad there. It's just really crudely done, and it's just not very well done. And here's the music player. If those of you have seen our S-Flow, you can use it. It's a capacitive touchscreen, that one, and you can easily scroll. This one, like I said, it doesn't even go through the other songs when it does that. It just doesn't scroll. Basically, you have to go to the side here, and you're pressing where you want to look at, or use. It's just not very nice. And here's your music player. It doesn't support album art like the S-Flow does. Oh, I guess I should point out, it does use the Rockchip RK2706 chipset, at its core, the same as our S-Flow, but it doesn't have an independent audio chip. The audio does play MP3, WMA, FLAC, and APE file formats. The audio quality is good, but that's generally because of the ROG chipset, which, you know, one of its better attributes is that it's a good audio performance, even without the independent audio chip. It does have your Microsoft Play FX equalizer, which, again, I always say it's one of the probably the better equalizers that I've heard. It greatly improves the audio quality. It has your regular play mode, so you have your shuffle, stuff like that. I won't say that the screen isn't responsive. It is for actual touchscreen. You know, you can, you know, change the audio like that. In that way, I guess you have to press down there. Yeah. In that way, the touchscreen is quite responsive. It's just that whole scrolling that they're trying to say that this dual cover screen technology can do, it does, and it fails miserably, and I mean, it's just horrible. And it does multitask. I mean, obviously you can't hear the audio in the background because it doesn't have a speaker, but you can multitask in this. So, and here's your video. It is a 3-inch screen. It is a QVGA screen, so it's not that sharp. You know, the videos don't look that sharp or that nice as compared to the S-Flow or, you know, other TFT screens out there. There's a resizing option, so you can watch in your standard 16:9, native 16:9, or I'll stretch it out a little bit more. And again, you can fast forward by pointing where you want to go. These controls are just retardedly small. I mean, it's just I don't know why they made it that small, but yeah, it's just not very well thought out almost for that. It does play AVI, RMVB, FLV file formats. There may be more additional video file format support. The newer ROG chip firmwares do support WMV, MP4, MPEG 1 and 2 file formats also. I don't know if this particular player, this ROG chip, the firmware inside supports that or not. So, and again, and just exit out. Oh. Oops, there we go. Oops. And you have a photo. One of the nicer things about this firmware is that it does do small thumbnails next to the files, something that the S-Flow doesn't do. There is no multi-touch on this, so you can't use your fingers to zoom, but you can use your fingers to slide the images. And there is ability, if the image is a resolution larger than the screen, then you can zoom and pan in, and you can rotate your images. There you go. And you have your voice recorder, your ebook reader, and there. Probably the only place where this actual, you know, scrolling really works well is on the ebook. Your Explorer, that's your, you know, standard. Your games, the games on this are actually, you know, I guess kind of well implemented if you actually like, you know, these type of games or so. So, you know, this is like your Reversi or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but yes. Your date, which really doesn't do anything. Your watch, which isn't set, and you have a nice little time where you can just, you know, it's kind of fun. See, again, this is another place where the actual scrolling works, you know. And your date, your settings, nothing much really, you know, system information. There you go, your ROG chip RK2706. Overall, there are things about this player that are nice. Its TV out quality is, you know, solid. It's good, you know, especially considering it's coming from such a small little player. But the touchscreen, it's just not good. The UI is cruder than, you know, than anything I've really seen. It does have some, you know, you can change the UI there, but it really doesn't. That's the only place where it looks different. Everything else looks the same. there are some stuff that, you know, I would like to see on our S Flow that this player has, like the thumbnails and stuff. But overall, this player is not, you know, for the price it would sell at, because it isn't actually an expensive player. It would sell for almost the same price as the S Flow. For the price, it's not worth it in my books, unless it can come down on the price. But overall, it's a solid player, but it still has a lot of work left in it. And unfortunately, that scrolling, the dual screen, you know, let's call it what it is. It's just a fancy resistive screen. Oh, and wait, you can do scroll to unlock. Anyway, head on over to our website, mp4nation.net, to check out this player or other MP4 players, or head on over to our forums to discuss this. Thank you.